What a lovely afternoon. And one of the most popular kinds of tea is black tea, considered stronger and richer in flavor. Black tea was discovered in China in the mid-17th century and was the first type of tea to be introduced to Europe and the Middle East. Hot or cold, it's a beverage staple enjoyed worldwide.
There is a kind of tea that is clearly red in color, but it's called black tea. Now, let's hear the story of black tea. British people drink their tea with milk and sugar, and sometimes lace it with chocolate cream, honey, brandy, or cinnamon. Russians add jam, lemon, or brandy. For Indians, milk is standard, but you also find things like ginger, cinnamon, nutmeg, or areca in their cups. If you travel back in time, you will find the origin of black tea in China. Guangya, China's first encyclopedia, described how people in the place of today's Sichuan baked tea cakes soaked in rice milk to turn it red before brewing it. In 1556, a Portuguese called Gaspar de Cruz came to China as a missionary and developed a habit of drinking tea while he was in China. In 1560, when he went back to Europe, he brought with him this habit and wrote in his book that upper-class families in China serve their guests with tea, a reddish bitter-taste beverage that is brewed from a herb and can cure illnesses. In 1662, Catherine of Braganza, a Portuguese princess who is a black tea lover, married Charles II and made tea popular with the wealthy classes in England, a fashion that later spread across the country. Unlike the Chinese who drink plain tea, the English prefer their tea with milk and sugar, a custom that is said to owe its popularization to the Duchess of York, who introduced tea to Scotland in 1680. From the mid-18th to the late 19th century, due to the strong demand for tea in England, black tea production began to thrive in India and Sri Lanka. Local people boil tea leaves with milk while adding a variety of spices to make the flavor richer. The tea bag that is widely consumed today was invented by New York tea merchant Thomas Sullivan in 1904 and became popular in the 1950s. Also in 1904, at the St. Louis World's Fair, an exposition held in St. Louis, Missouri, United States, the summer heat turned visitors away from Richard Blanchington's hot black tea. So the merchant put some sugar and lots of ice into his tea, creating a drink that was a hit at the fair and became known as iced tea. That was how these small leaves traveled across continents and made its way onto the tables of numerous countries in all sorts of flavors. Before concluding the story of black tea, I invite you to drink a cup of traditional Chinese black tea and guess if it still tastes the same as what was drunk by a Portuguese missionary 400 years ago.
Please enjoy your tea.